The one with and each of these, there's drawings of the projected scenes. So we understand what it was like before, a really thriving community and why it formed. And then
Good morning. Thank you, everyone. Thank you all for being here today. My name is Amber Sharples. I'm the Executive Director of the Oklahoma Arts Council, the state agency for the arts. And I want to welcome you to the dedication of the Pathway to Hope Public Art Trail. I want to thank our hosts and a key partner on this project, the Greenwood Cultural Center Board and staff. Thank you to the Greenwood Cultural Center Executive Director, Frances Jordan-Rapestraw, and the enormous gratitude to Program Coordinator, Michelle Verdex, who led the community outreach and engagement for the artists and artist teams for each of the public art projects. Michelle's guidance was invaluable to the success and the authenticity of each project. As we begin, I would also like to extend our thanks to Omri Ford, who have provided us with beautiful music, setting the tone for this morning's event. Omri is not only a gifted musician, but he is also an alumnus of the Oklahoma Arts Council's Leadership Arts Program and a leader for the arts in his community. Omri holds a Bachelor of Music and Violin Performance from the University of Central Oklahoma and a Master of Music and Music Composition from the University of North Carolina at Greensboro. And he also told me this morning that he is currently a student at Phillips Seminary here in Tulsa. Next, I want to recognize that we are joined by numerous individuals who are here not only in their role as a public servant for our community, but as individuals who truly value what this project means to our community, Tulsa, and our state. If you are an elected public official, would you please stand so that we might recognize you? There are many individuals who have been essential to making this morning's dedication possible. A project of this scale, especially one of profound significance, can only be successful by having a large group of stakeholders come together behind a single vision, working on behalf of the community. For making the Pathway to Hope Public Art Trail possible, I want to express my deepest appreciation to the following. Will you please stand or wave as I call you? Members of the Oklahoma Art and Public Places Oversight Committee, who lend their name, time, stewardship, and thoughtfulness to this program. You're here. Project Site Committee members for devoting their time and expertise to the project. The board and staff at the Greenwood Cultural Center for facilitating our connection to the community. Again, Michelle, Verdex, board and staff at Greenwood. Our partners at the Oklahoma Department of Transportation, led by Director Gatz. The artists and artist teams for these 6 projects, all who have worked for several years and demonstrated their immense talent, engagement, and commitment to the power of these public art projects by engaging with the community and creating these artworks that we celebrate today. We are grateful for you, your family, and the community support, and your unwavering commitment to this project. I know we have many former and current governor-appointed Oklahoma Arts Council members with us today. Would you all please stand and be recognized? Very fast. And to the Oklahoma Arts Council staff, with special thanks to our visual and public art team led by Jerica Walsh, Director of Visual and Public Art. Special thanks to former Art and Public Places Director Sterling Hayes, our current Art and Public Places Director, Dr. Aaron Latham, and Art and Public Places Program Assistant, Sarah Pugh. Our Visual and Public Art team were supported with design and PR support by Scott Cowan, Web and Publications Director, and Joel Gavin, Director of Marketing and Communications, and the entire Oklahoma Arts Council team, which is here today. Would our Oklahoma Arts Council team, who are wearing the polo shirts, please stand or wave and be recognized for your enormous work on this project. To all of these entities and individuals who came together to support this project, my sincerest thanks. Finally, we especially want to take this moment to recognize the 2 survivors of the Tulsa Race Massacre, who I don't believe were here today, but I want to recognize them and say their names. Viola Fletcher and Leslie Benningfield Randall are 2 survivors of the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre. And I just want to recognize these 2 extraordinary women. Public art is not just decoration. It is declaration. It is memory etched into the landscape, truth carved into stone, and hope painted across walls. In the aftermath of the Tulsa Race Massacre of 1921, a deliberate and devastating act of racial violence that destroyed one of the most prosperous Black communities in American history, public art has now emerged as a powerful vehicle for healing, resistance, and resurgence. For decades, the story of Greenwood, Black Wall Street, it was silenced, omitted from history books. But art has refused to let the silence remain. Murals, monuments, and installations now stand where smoke once rose, reclaiming space and retelling truth. These works do not memorialize loss, they ignite resilience. Public art in Tulsa and beyond orchestrates a collective memory that challenges erasure. It invites reflection while affirming the dignity, strength, and creative spirit of the Black community. Through visual storytelling, it allows descendants to honor their ancestors not as victims, but as visionaries, business owners, educators, doctors, mothers, and builders of a thriving Black economy. Moreover, public art builds community. It offers space for dialogue across generations. It sparks intergenerational healing by allowing youth to see themselves reflected in powerful legacies and elders to see their truths finally acknowledged. Perhaps most importantly, public art reclaims control over the narrative. Where history was distorted or hidden, art tells the unfiltered truth. Where trauma lives, art provides a canvas for catharsis. And where despair once prevailed, it dares to offer a vision of renewal. These 6 works orchestrate a resilient chorus of Black survival, remembrance, and resistance. Public art ensures that the story of Greenwood and the power of its people will never be forgotten. And so today, as the State Agency for the Arts and the leader for the arts in Oklahoma, it is an honor that the Oklahoma Arts Council has had the opportunity to partner with other state agencies to utilize the transformative power of public art. Public art does not just happen by accident. It takes expertise, planning, and diligent implementation. And a project like the Pathway to Hope Public Art Trail takes years to bring to fruition. And it takes steady guidance and a firm belief in the impact that will result in its outcome. Fortunately, at the Oklahoma Arts Council, we have a team who fits these qualifications, and a team that possesses the talents and grit to fulfill the purpose of the public art program. This team is led by a skilled and capable member of our staff's leadership team, and at this time, I would like to bring to the podium Jerica Walsh, Director of Visual and Public Art, to tell more about this project.
To be here with all of you today. We gather not only to dedicate the Pathway to Hope Public Art Trail, but also to celebrate the vision, talent, and commitment of the artists and the community members who trusted the process, shared their stories, and championed this project from beginning to end. This project began back in 2019 in conversations with Director Gatz and his team. From those early talks grew an idea that would require patience, collaboration, and above all, trust. We knew from the start that listening would be vital. Listening to small business owners on Black Wall Street, nonprofit leaders serving Greenwood and North Tulsa, elected officials, and individuals who hold the heartbeat of North Tulsa. It's often said that projects like this move at the speed of trust. This was true here. By investing time in relationships, by inviting feedback, and by returning again and again to those community voices, we, along with the artists and the community members, built the foundation that made today possible. The artists are here with us today, and they answered a nationwide call. They poured their hearts, their creativity, and their blood, sweat, and tears into these projects that you'll see today. Each of them engaged with the community in their own unique way, leaving a legacy to be experienced for generations. Wesley Clark's A Greenwood Lifestyle on Main Street celebrates Black creativity and joy, and I heard from multiple people who delighted in meeting him during the installation and his joyous spirit as he shared about his art. Helen and Will's Resilience on Boston Avenue carries words and phrases that were gathered in a clay workshop that was held right here at Greenwood Cultural Center. And the figures on the walls are taken from candid family photos that were shared that really embody the strength of North Tulsan families. Alexander Timon and Joel Daniel Phillips honor both the visionaries that helped build Greenwood and the historians that have safeguarded the legacy through the past, present, and into the future. Shane Albritton and her team at Recite Studio drew from the Greenwood Cultural Center archives. They used those to create the digital mosaics, and they worked hand in hand with local creatives to invest back into the local economy. Marlon Hall, along with Gordon Mueller and a whole team of Tulsa collaborators, created the Doorways to Hope at the Elgin Underpass. Through portraits, oral histories, and films, they captured stories that will move you to laughter and tears. You can see a compilation of the films playing in the atrium today. There are some truly incredible stories of individuals that are doing good work to inspire hope here in North Tulsa. Joe O'Connell and Annalise Bruner created Burning Still for the Greenwood Underpass, drawing from her family history as a descendant of a survivor of the 1921 race massacre. Her words, Mary Jones Parrish, her words are seen on those bronze teardrops and projecting down onto the underpass walls. So along the way of creating this, we encountered many, many meaningful connections. And I want to share an example. Derek Gates is here with us today. Derek served as the electrical engineer for, I think, 2 or 3 of the underpasses, helping design the lighting. Derek's mom, Eddie Faye Gates, is one of the portraits that's featured on the Visionaries artwork by Joel and Alexander. Stories like this remind us how deeply rooted in community public art can be when we get the right people in the room, the right people at the table. The artists help deepen those connections with their commitment to engaging local talent. For me and my team, this has been a multi-year journey, woven with meaning, from sharing a meal with Marlon's team, to participating in Helen and Will's workshop, to many, many conversations and visits to check in on the progress of the artwork. We were privileged to be welcomed into these community spaces. Those experiences and the relationships that they fostered are treasures that we will carry with us. Of course, a project like this came with some challenges, but what carried us through was the belief in the purpose of the work, in the people of Greenwood and North Tulsa, the belief that art can give voice to those who have been historically overlooked, and that art can change lives. Because of that belief, this collection now stands as a living testimony. When people pass through these underpasses, they will not encounter blank walls or abstract concepts. They will see the real lives, families, and histories of Greenwood and North Tulsa, made larger than life, impossible to ignore, and impossible to forget. I want to thank my colleagues at Oklahoma Arts Council, especially Sterling Hayes and Sarah Pugh, for their diligence and care in helping to shepherd this project to completion. And to our partners at ODOT, thank you for your steadfast support and for giving this project the resources and time it needed to become something truly special. For me, what makes this project truly unforgettable is seeing these walls now carry the laughter, resilience, strength of character, and pride of the community. My hope is that every person that passes through feels that same spirit, the pride, the perseverance, and the essence of what makes Greenwood so special. Thank you.
Thank you for your steadfast leadership to guide the Visual and Public Art team and your stewardship of this project over the last 6 years. The results speak for themselves. Thank you for your excellent work. As Jerica mentioned, a few years ago, not long after Tim Gatz was asked by the governor to leave the Oklahoma Department of Transportation, we approached him to ask how Oklahoma could continue to work together to build an impressive collection of public art along its highways. The legislature had only recently placed the public art program under the management of the Arts Council, and it was definitely in its infancy. We were excited to explore opportunities to work together, and I'm so grateful, as Jerica mentioned, that Director Gatz was open and excited about the opportunity to work together. This project has been the culmination of many years of work. Starting more than 6 years ago in 2019, in our early conversations with Director Gatz, we discussed these opportunities, and this project quickly rose to the top of our list. I want to again thank Director Gatz for believing in what we could achieve together, providing the resources, and believing in the power of public art, And for that, I want to just sincerely express our gratitude from the Oklahoma Arts Council to you, Director, and to the entire team at ODOT. And with that, I am thrilled to welcome Director Gatz to the podium to share about this successful partnership and ODOT's vision in making this project a possibility.
Thank you, Amber, and it is a tremendous honor. It's a tremendous honor for the Department of Transportation to be here with you today, and certainly we're grateful to be here in the Greenwood Cultural Center. As Amber pointed out, the art and the success that we've realized has really been years in the works. And I want to thank Mayor Nichols, the City of Tulsa, certainly the Greenwood Cultural Center and their leadership team, along with the North Tulsa community for being a part of it and really helping us understand what it was going to really be as an end result. And as Amber pointed out, the artists that have worked on this with us, their ability to listen and hear the desires and the thoughts and then transform that into artwork that captures really the essence of the Greenwood area, I think is, we're extremely grateful to have been a part of that. And I want to recognize Trapper Parks, who is our District 8 engineer here in the Tulsa region, for his efforts. And these projects, and not just here in Greenwood, but across the state of Oklahoma, where we've partnered with the Arts Council to be able to achieve something that is really becoming institutionalized within the transportation area and the transportation arena, where we listen to the communities and we try to make our investments in infrastructure reflect a little bit of the culture, a little bit of the desires of the community, and we can't accomplish that without the partnership with the Arts Council. That has been the real difference maker for the Department of Transportation. Amber's leadership, certainly Jerica and her team, we're so proud to have played a small role in this because, again, they're the experts. They know how to bring together the communities and the artists and then have that materialize in something that's as impressive as what we have here. So again, I just want to say thanks again. The department is honored to be here with you today and really are extremely excited about the success of this project. So thank you so much.
Not quite as tall. Thank you, Director Gatz. Thank you for your kind words and your leadership and commitment to the Oklahoma Art and Public Places program. Next, it is fitting and indeed poetic that we get to dedicate the Pathway to Hope Public Art Trail alongside Tulsa's first Black mayor. I had the privilege of working with Mayor Nichols when he served in the state legislature. In fact, in that capacity, he was actually involved in this project in the early stages. Mayor Nichols was also part of our dedication of bronze busts of Clara Luper and Hannah Atkins for the Oklahoma State Capitol in 2024. So if you haven't seen those two additions to the state capitol, I hope that you will come and get a special tour. These artworks are just two of the newest pieces in 21 new commissions at the state capitol that celebrate Oklahoma Black history, Oklahoma's role in America's civil rights movement, and has made our capital one of the finest in the nation. I hope that you will come and visit the Capitol soon so we can share those additional public artworks with you and the celebration of Black history in Oklahoma and America. In my work with Mayor Nichols, it is clear that he values and embraces the essential place of the arts in society. He shares our desire to uphold the system of public and private support that has powered its growth in our state since the Oklahoma Arts Council and our federal partner, the National Endowment for the Arts, were both founded 60 years ago. I am grateful for his support of the arts, this project in particular, and his presence and participation in today's unveiling. Please help me welcome the Honorable Monroe Nichols, Mayor of Tulsa.
Thank you so much, Amber. I had the great pleasure this morning of being with another Sharples. They're all over Tulsa, apparently. Her brother is the director, I think, of community engagement at TSAS. It was the first day of school this morning. And I walked up to him and he said, I think you're going to be with my sister later. And it was at that moment that I realized what I've been thinking about all day, were these two Sharples related? They were in fact related. And so as I think about the awesome symmetry of one Sharples welcoming students into school this morning and thinking about their futures, and the other one here helping us not only reflect on the past, but also providing hope for the future. Somewhere there are some family members that are very proud of what the two of you have become. I am also happy and so excited to be joined by Jerica, Amber, and I. It's a couple years ago now. We're in the room over there talking about this project, and we were very excited about it. I was very excited about it, but I was also like, I'm not an artist. I can just do stick figures. I ain't gonna do this. And she talked to me about the amazing talents of the artists that were gonna come into the picture to do these amazing things in our community. And Jerica was very patient when I asked her a whole bunch of really stupid questions. And it just showed, to me anyway, how passionate the Arts Council was to get this done. And it became not just any old project, but they handled it with the kind of care that I think is befitting of what it means to our community now and what it will mean to our community for a very, very long time. Director Gads, he and I most recently were at Stonehenge over at 75 and 44. And the one thing that I can say about him is that I often see him at things that have to do with transportation, obviously, transportation director. But in every case, he's talking about things that aren't necessarily just transportation specific. He talks about community building. He talks about the importance of moving people and connecting people. And I gotta say, I don't know, maybe every transportation director talks like that. I don't think that they do. I don't think that they do, but we have a special treat in Tim Gatz, and I'm really appreciative of him and his whole team at the Department of Transportation. Before I get started, I also think it's really important. I saw two elected officials stand up, and not lost on me what today is. Today is the 67th anniversary of the City movement in Oklahoma City. And I am very pleased and honored that Senator Nikki Nice has come over from Oklahoma City this morning. Senator Nice, thank you for being here. I'm sure you have a whole bunch of stuff in Oklahoma City to do. But thank you for being here. The other elected official I saw stand up, I think, is also very relevant who she is and what she means. We are in the Cherokee Nation right now. And my good friend, Representative Amanda Clinton, was here. She is a very proud Cherokee and state representative. And thank you, Amanda, for being here as well. I am also joined by somebody who has been a wonderful partner for me in the mayor's office. And that is our Deputy Mayor, Crystal Reyes. Crystal, thank you for being here. You know, before I was elected mayor, I served in the Oklahoma House of Representatives for 8 years. And I enjoyed about 2 of them. Just kidding. No, I enjoyed a long time. But I really enjoyed that time. But there were certain projects and certain things I got to be a part of in that time that was so much different than all the other things that you might read about in the newspaper. This project was one of them, as I talked about. And I think what caught me is that this notion that I kind of saw firsthand with Jerica and Amber and everybody else, that made it clear that art is not just decoration. Art is a powerful tool for education, storytelling, healing. I learned, and something that I have really worked to embody in the mayor's office, that when you invest in art, you're investing in the soul of a community. I don't just think those words so I can give a speech, but it is the reason why pretty soon we will welcome the first director, as far as I know, of a new Office of Public Art and Community Partnerships at the City of Tulsa. because we recognize how important these things are, especially with a city that's so rich in culture and history. A city that knows this project is a reflection of that, how dangerous it is if you don't make sure that that is recognized and remembered, that public art is the way in which we do educate ourselves about what happened in the past. It is the way that we can reflect on those things, but it is also the way in which we ensure that the bad that may have happened can be corrected, that the good that may have happened can continue to inspire us, and that it is always a bridge to the future, every single time, every piece of artwork that you look at. I say that as somebody who was a mere C student in art history at the University of Tulsa, but it was always something that I knew to be true. And so this mayor, stick figure mayor, as some may want to call me, I can't draw, I can't sing, I can't do just about anything that relates to any level of art talent. But what I can do is appreciate, and what I am is very much inspired. You know, this year, earlier this year, on June 1st, we announced the establishment of the Greenwood Trust right here in this room. Because we knew that it's important that we have to work every day to repair harm, right? To unite the community. And although this project far preceded the Greenwood Trust, I very much see it as a part of this long-term work we're doing as a community and as a state in making sure that we face the future united, which sometimes that means you gotta take a look back. I'm a windshield type of guy, but if you only look through the windshield and never the rearview mirror, you're gonna get into an accident, and you're gonna get into multiple accidents, and you're gonna get into more accidents. And so while we remain a community that is a windshield community, we understand the importance that rearview mirror every once in a while. And I think in this case, with this art underneath these overpasses that serves as somewhat of a bridge, we recognize that sometimes the rearview mirror is in fact the windshield. And I think what we see now is a perfect reflection of who we've been, who we are, and hopefully who we will be. You know, I came to the University of Tulsa in 2002. That's how I got to Tulsa. I had never been to Tulsa before 2002. I was inspired to come here because my mom was reading a book by John Hope Franklin called From Slavery to Freedom. It's how I came to know who B.C. Franklin was. This artwork, this storytelling, as part of this project, to me is so personal because it is the reason why I'm here. There's a city I've never been to, inspired by the stories that you will see now reflected every single day as you cross downtown into the Greenwood District. How cool is that? How cool is that? The other part about this is Amber, and I'm sure, you know, sometimes things just kind of happen special when good people do good things. I talked about the Greenwood Trust. We're in the midst of getting the Kirkpatrick Heights master plan done. Here pretty soon, this part of this community that used to be a city within a city is going to be revived. And the entryway to that revitalization, the entryway to that renewal, the entryway to that restoration is going to be the art that you see to the right and to the left of you as you come on in. The perfect welcoming to what is going to be the restoration of the greatest example of Black excellence our country ever knew, and I think the greatest revitalization of that spirit of what created it that our country has ever known. Thank you all so much. I know everybody here in some way, shape, or form has some personal connection to this project, whether it be the story, whether it be the project itself, or whether it be the inspiration that you know will come from it. And so whether you had a direct hand in it, whether you're just excited about it, whether maybe you just came in because you thought that something was going on and you wanted to see if it was going to be cool or not, whatever brought you here today, is that my music off the stage? What I want to say is thank you. This show of support with just the number of bodies in this room is proof positive that what has happened here, this long-range planning, was not only worth it, we know it was meaningful, and we know people are inspired by it. And I don't know if Amber, as we were sitting in that room over there, if we could say those three things about it, I think that would have been good enough. And so thank you all for being here. Thank you to Amber, thank you to Jerica, thank you to Gantz, and thank you to everybody who continues to tell the story of the wonderful things that are true about this community, the things that continue to be true, and the things that we're going to work on to make sure that nobody ever forgets what it meant to be in the Greenwood District. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Mayor. We appreciate you being here and your words of inspiration. As we conclude today's program, I want to remind you that beginning shortly, shuttles will be available to provide tours to the artworks along the 6 underpasses. These are air-conditioned, right? And we will have a guide on each shuttle to share a little bit more about each work. These are quick, approximately 15-minute tours, so no reason to miss. And I encourage you all to take them before you leave today so you can see the work up close and hear more detail. We invite you to take one of these complimentary shuttles, and during it, you will also hear more about each artwork, as well as you have the opportunity to meet some of the artists who have joined us here at the adjacent and flanking tables. I hope that you will find them truly enlightening and uplifting as catalysts for more great things to come for Greenwood, North Tulsa, and our entire state. Thank you for joining us today. I hope you enjoy the tour and have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you.
No, I just happened to be here. Well, yeah, I was not hired to be here.